Good afternoon, friends. This video on another important changes effective from 1st of January 2022. Let's take an example. Let's say you have furnished your outward supply in GSTR 1 at 5 lakh rupees, whereas it should have been only 50,000 rupees. So you should have shown your outward supply of 50,000 and corresponding output tax liability. But it is wrongly furnished as 5 lakh. To error is human. You made the mistake and you have filed your GSTR 1 under section 37 of CGST Act. Now you are filing your GSTR 3B for that relevant tax period. And this is 50,000, outward supply is 50,000. You would be paying tax only on 50,000, but there would be difference of outward supply reflected in GSTR 1 wrongly furnished at 5 lakh rupees, whereas you have shown your actual outward supply 50,000 and corresponding taxes you have paid. So there's difference coming for outward supply in GSTR 1 versus GSTR 3B of a particular tax period. Simple question which we need to analyze, because this change is effective from January 1, 2022. Is there any problem that there was difference in GSTR 1 versus GSTR 3B? Wake up call. This video is very important for you to watch. If there is any difference of outward supply shown in GSTR 1 versus GSTR 3B, that would be considered as self-assessment tax. As per explanation, and this explanation got inserted by clause number 105 of Finance Bill 2021. And this clause is now being notified effective from January 1, 2022 by notification number 39/2021 Central Taxes dated 21st December 2021. Thereby the crux. Under section 75 subsection 12, which is the important provision, an explanation got inserted why this clause number 105 of Finance Bill 2021 now got notified, and as per this explanation, difference of outward supply shown in GSTR 1 versus GSTR 3B going to be self-assessment tax. And under section 75 subsection 12, there was provision, and provision was stringent provision, starting with non-obstante clause, notwithstanding anything contained under section 73 or 74. If any self-assessment tax which is being furnished in a return under section 39, which is GSTR 3B, now as per Honorable Supreme Court judgment in the case of w.e.f. and company, and you have not paid such self-assessment tax either fully or partially, or interest is also unpaid, then GST department can recover. Recovery proceedings under section 79 can be initiated for recovery of this amount unpaid, which is self-assessment tax. So without issuance of so-called notice, because non-obstante clause under section 73 and 74, 73 is non-fraud cases, 74 is the fraud cases, giving power to the department. Even without issuance of so-called notice, they can recover this self-assessment tax under section 79 of CGST Act. Now within this self-assessment tax, this explanation got inserted. Right, clause number 105 now saying, if for any region there is difference in outward supply furnished in GSTR 1 versus GSTR 3B, that difference would be considered as self-assessment tax, and that can be recovered under section 79 even without issuance of so-called notice, under section 73 non-fraud cases, under section 74 fraud cases of CGST Act. It's a wake-up call. Wake-up call. If we are making mistake, even though those mistakes are clerical, to error is human, we have to wake up. Difference of outward supply is now self-assessment tax, can be recovered under section 79. Recovery proceedings can be initiated by the department. They can attach our bank account. They can sell our goods. Garnishing provision. These are the provision in the law under section 79 for recovery. And even without issuance of so-called notice. Wake up call. And what is coming out in Hindi? अगर आपने अपनी आउटवर्ड सप्लाई GSTR 1 में 5 लाख रुपए दिखाई, होनी चाहिए थी 50,000 रुपीज, गलती से दिखा दिया आपने। और जब आप अपना GSTR 3B भरेंगे और उसमें आपने 50,000 रुपए दिखाई जो करेक्ट आउटवर्ड सप्लाई है, तो जो डिफरेंस है आउटवर्ड सप्लाई जो आपने दिखाई GSTR 1 में वर्सेस GSTR 3B, उस डिफरेंस अमाउंट को सेल्फ असेसमेंट टैक्स मान लिया जाएगा। एक्सप्लेनेशन, वाइड 105 क्लॉज नंबर 105 ऑफ फाइनेंस बिल 2021 गॉट इंसर्टेड। अब इनने इसको नोटिफाई भी कर दिया। ये नोटिफाई हो गया 1 जनवरी 2022 से, यानी अब हमसे ऐसी गलती हो गई, अगर आप एज ए टैक्स पेयर आपने अगर ये गलती कर दी, तो ये डिफरेंशियल आउटवर्ड सप्लाई जो है इसको सेल्फ असेसमेंट टैक्स मान लिया जाएगा। यहां तक तो बात सही थी, बट 75 सबसेक्शन 12 में जब आप जाते हैं ऑफ CGST एक्ट, इट सेज इस सेल्फ असेसमेंट टैक्स को डिपार्टमेंट रिकवर कर सकता है, रिकवरी प्रोसीडिंग्स इनिशिएट कर सकता है अंडर सेक्शन 79 ऑफ CGST एक्ट, even without issuance of so-called notice, either under section 73 or 74। यानी अब आप समझ लीजिए कि 1 जनवरी 2022 से आप मिस्टेक नहीं कर सकते। अगर आपने मिस्टेक की, यह सेल्फ असेसमेंट टैक्स कहलाएगा। रिकवरी कैन बी इनिशिएटेड इवन विदाउट issuance of so-called notice। Having said that, these are stringent provision, and we all understand sometime filing GSTR 1 we may make mistake हो जाती है, हमसे कई बार हो जाती है, तो क्या हम इसको सेल्फ असेसमेंट टैक्स मान लें? I would like to highlight here that principle of natural justice is very, very important. First of all, section 75 subsection 12 of CGST Act is giving non-obstante clause that without issuance of so-called notice, either under section 73 non-fraud cases, 74 fraud cases, they can go for recovery, which was very stringent provision. Now this stringent provision added with more flavor. If there's any difference between GSTR 1 outward supply versus outward supply shown in GSTR 3B, then that will also be considered as a self-assessment tax, and that can be recovered without issuance of so-called notice. Please wake up. Now we have to be careful while filing our GST return, and that is what the meaning coming out of it. But in my humble submission, what provision should have been? Of course, this provision was stringent with non-obstante clause, but at least they could have given me some time period to amend my GSTR 1 so that my outward supply matches reconcile with the outward supply shown in GSTR 3B, मुझे 2 महीने, 4 महीने, 6 महीने का एक टाइम देना था। मैंने किसी पर्टिकुलर टैक्स पीरियड का रिटर्न भरा, GSTR 1, गलती हो गई, 50,000 की जगह मैंने 5 लाख रुपए दिखा दिए। अब मैं रिवाइज तो कर नहीं सकता, आई कांट रिवाइज माई GSTR 1, देयर इज नो प्रोविजन। और आप कहते हैं कि नहीं, अगर आपका ये मैच नहीं करेगा GSTR 3B से, मैं तो टैक्स 50,000 पे ही पे करूंगा ना, दैट इज माई लाइबिलिटी। अब आप कहते हैं इसको सेल्फ असेसमेंट टैक्स मान लिया जाएगा। माई हम्बल सबमिशन, इफ गवर्नमेंट इज वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो, what is ease of business? That you should have given me some time period, 2 महीना, 4 महीना, 6 महीना, so that I could have corrected my GSTR 1, जहां पे मैंने गलती से 5 लाख रुपए दिखा दिए, होने चाहिए थे 50,000, so that I could have corrected। फिर आप कहते कि ये सेल्फ असेसमेंट टैक्स है। फिर आप रिकवरी का जो प्रोविजन अंडर सेक्शन 75 सब सेक्शन 12 में आपने डाला है, क्वाइट अनस्टैंडेबल। बट पहले मंथ से ही इसको सेल्फ असेसमेंट टैक्स मान लिया जाए और रिकवरी भी हो जाएगी विदाउट इशुएंस ऑफ सो कॉज नोटिस, दैट लुक्स लाइक मोर स्ट्रिंजेंट एंड इट इज नॉट गिविंग ईज ऑफ बिजनेस, बट इट्स ए वेकअप कॉल। Effective from January 1, 2022, with this explanation got inserted, any difference of outward supply furnished in GSTR 1 versus GSTR 3B is a self-assessment tax. Please be careful while filing your GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. But to provide ease of business and to make GST law as a good and simple tax, government should have considered that these provisions are not providing hand-holding. We have to provide helping hand. Yes, these provisions are meant as a deterrent against the tax evader, but should not be made in general for all the taxpayer. But that is what the irony all about. Get set ready, wake up call from January 1, 2022. Lot many changes now going to be effective from 1st of January 2022. Stay tuned, keep watching. Thank you very much.